Hi there, and thank you for joining me on Zone In with Akesi. My name is Akesi Oparisaforo, and this is where I share my life experiences and that of others so that you can draw inspiration and also pick a lesson or two from. I have been doing this over the last month, and I just hope that so far it has been great. Today I talk about the ABCs of living alone as a young woman. Because I did this from 19 years to about 32 years. So that's about roughly 13 years of my life living as a single woman. And it was quite tough. I won some, I lost some, but then I am here today to share my experience with you. So before I start sharing my experience or the lessons I learned, etc., I would say to you that if you are watching me now and you're thinking of leaving your parents' house or going from your guardian's house and going to rent your own apartment, think again. Pause and think again, because this is not the time. You need every single penny you can get to live your life. You need to gather as much money as you can to live your adult life. So please, if your parents are paying rent, you have a bed to sleep on, and you have some money to save, please do that, and do it as long as you can. Trust me, before you get out there, because it's not as easy as you think. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to be telling you how it all happened, and well, of a truth, in my other episodes, if you've been watching, you will know why I had to live on my own from 19 years. It has not been an easy road, but I remember the first times I had to do this, I did it with my sister. We went to rent an apartment together, but sooner or later she had to leave for school, and so I was left alone to make my decisions and to survive by myself. So how did I do that? Okay, so instead of now boring you with day one, day two, what happened over the years, I would rather tell you what I learned, and then I can share my experiences on why I learned or how I learned what I learned. So I wrote a few pointers down, so please indulge me. And so here goes. The first one is live as though you were living with your parents or someone you respect. Why do I say that? So because I lived alone and I had so much freedom, I used to scatter everything everywhere. Charlie, I'll come home from work, I'll put my shoes in the hall. Sometimes I change in the hall, I watch TV, and then I forget, I leave my clothes there. Things were scattered everywhere till I realized that, you know what? The whole house is so dirty. Then I take one day and then I clean it all up. What does that do to you? Maybe you think it's just one of those things. It's nothing. It's freedom. It's okay. It actually worries your state of mind. It even actually affects your mood that you are in. Aside the health issues that comes with it, if you're not actually cleaning the place and all that, a well-organized room will amaze you what kind of state of mind it can put you in. It can put you in a certain state that you are meticulous enough and you are at peace enough to do other things in other areas of your life. So it is very, very important to view your home as though you were living with people you respected, because probably you say, oh, it's just me, and you are not too critical of yourself. If you are, then good for you. Then it means you don't need this tip. But then if you aren't, you actually need to consider viewing your home as though you live with your parents, and then you won't treat them anyhow. You will put things where they are supposed to be. Eventually it helps for your future, even as a woman, because then when you get married, things are in order. Things are at the place that they have to be, because most times, our men, they don't come fully packaged like that. So the onus lies on you to actually start living properly and living an organized life by yourself. Okay. So the second thing I would say that I put down was that make sure you live within your means. This is something that people have heard over and over and over again, and you might think is very cliche. When you get an apartment, you think that you've got like a clean sheet of paper. You can design it, or you can spec it to your own taste, however you want it, what kind of couch you want, what kind of TV you want, etc. That is fine, but if you don't have the means to, don't force yourself. There are so many things that we see in other people's home on TV. People even want to spec their places like some celebrity's house, and you don't have the money. Don't force yourself. As a young person or as a young woman, your aim is to save as much as you can and to live within the little that you have. So if you have 1,000 cedis and that is all you have to, spend in your home, then please do not strive to make your room. Get the basic things that you need. So I remember I wanted a sofa from Orca Deco when I rented my second apartment. I laugh now because I just see that there are levels in life. When you start, you may not have everything you want. Now I can afford that, but then I couldn't. And I looked at what I had versus what I wanted, and I saw that, listen, the only way I could get that is to get someone to help me, and that also has consequences. So what will I do? I actually went by the roadside in cantonments. They make cane chairs, etc. There, I went to ask for the price, and even that was expensive. And so I got that, and I got cane chairs, and that's what I lived in. I mean, nobody bashed me for it. Half of the time, people don't even come to your home, so they may not see what you have or what you don't have. So please, live within your means as a young woman, and that is very, very important. Even not breaking away in the same point, the type of food you eat, the type of clothes you wear, the way you position yourself, it should all be gradual. At the point you find yourself in, you should always try to live or reflect what you have. Don't try to reflect what you don't have, because it also gives another perception of the kind of person you are. So please watch that. The third one is be comfortable with yourself and be able to engage yourself in things you love to do. So I realized that when I started living alone, I didn't know how to be independent. I didn't know what I even loved to do. I didn't know what my hobbies were. I was just there. If I had nothing to do, i.e. engage other people or go out to work, when I come, it's always sleep. What that did to me was depress me. Anytime I woke up, I was feeling as though, it's only me in this world. I don't have anybody. Nobody's checking up on me. And should I call this person? Should I go out? Every time I was looking for a sense of belonging because I wasn't happy in myself. Once I found something to do, engage myself. So what I found to do is play games, and please don't take that for granted. It also sharpens your skills. So depending on what kind of games you're playing, that's one. 2, reading. Reading is like the most engaging thing and self-loving thing, because it enhances your English. I don't have to now tell you what reading does for you, but reading actually puts you really, really far and ahead of others. So That's one good thing you can do. You can watch movies, you can binge on series and stuff like that. Be happy in yourself. Do things that you don't need other people to do with. And once you do that, you find that you don't always have to invite people to your home to make yourself happy. And then it saves you as a young woman to invite all sorts of odd personalities and troubles to yourself. So that's another thing. The fourth thing I would say to you is that you should know someone well enough before you invite them home. So my experience was that one day I went for an event, and when I was done, a man offered to drop me off at home, which I obliged. So I got a lift to the house. Whilst we were coming, we engaged in conversation, and it was quite smooth. It was nice. And so when we got to the gate, he just said, "Oh, can I come in?" And I didn't think there was anything wrong with that, So I said, "Oh, why not?" So he came in, I invited him in, he came in, and I gave him a drink. He sat down, we were talking, the TV was on. Now I realized that I was feeling sleepy, but this man kept on talking. I didn't know how to sack him. But sooner or later, I realized that he had no intention of leaving, because he had his own mind. He had a mind of his own. He came with an agenda. So before he leaves, he needs to, and swaying the conversation in a direction that I didn't want it to go. Finally, it ended up in a whole argument and a whole, Ghanaians would say trimamentre, so a whole struggle before he left. Now, I'm very glad it didn't end up in something worse like rape, or even a fight, or even anything could have happened. Can you imagine if he tried to hurt me, or So as a young woman, even your security is very, very, very important. So please do not invite people into your home when you don't know them well enough. Even when you do, you should have a certain rule that when you enter my home past 7 o'clock, you can't stay till after 7:30 or 8 o'clock. Right from the beginning, when you have principles, it guides you, and it puts you in a certain space that other people cannot disrespect. Okay. Now, my fifth lesson to you is that don't be quick to announce to people that you live alone. I remember when I started living alone, because of all the freedom that I had and everything, anytime there's any conversation, then I drop, "Oh, me, I live alone, so you guys, you can come and crash at my place. I live alone, so I don't even have any time that I have to get home." People form a perception about you, and there are people around who do not care about they don't have standards. They are just looking for vulnerable people to prey on. So when they hear things like that, they start devising their own plan, and they want a piece of the pie. And so please do not, it could cost you, just dropping that you live alone. It doesn't, nobody needs to know that. Nobody needs to know that. Unless you're having a conversation with someone that you have gotten to know and you feel comfortable enough to say something like that, then fine. But you don't actually need to drop that. You know what? I can go on and on and on and on. I have quite a few points more, but I will say one last one, and maybe we can do an episode 2 of this. Yeah? Okay. So the sixth one that I will share with you is to save every month towards your rent and your utility bills. So you see that you have rented for maybe a year or 2, and gathering the money wasn't an easy feat. I know for sure, because I went through this time and again. I had to depend on people, borrow here and there to sort of, make sure that I had my rent up to scratch. My utility, I sort of, got through that, but for my rent, I always struggled because I didn't save up towards my rent. Now, the lesson I learned as the years went by was to actually put my rent money, my utility bill down. So even if I didn't have food to eat, those things were saved up, so that when the year was up and I was renewing my rent, or I was going somewhere to rent a new place, I had the bulk money there so that I will pick it. What it saves you from is from men who look at vulnerable people again. I'm always touchy on this subject because I see that a lot of men prey on young women who live alone and do not have the means to take care of themselves. But you don't have to have a lot of money to take care of yourself. If you live within your means and you save the little that you have, you don't need to be a liability to other people and also a prey to these men. I hope you have enjoyed this episode, and I hope that you will leave some comments in the comment section, and also let me know if I'm doing something right or wrong, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I am pushing for 100 100 subscribers, and so please do subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you, and bye-bye.